Hello there, it's Brian again, another face in the crowd, back at you. Week 2. Hey, I hope you enjoyed what we talked about concerning Joseph last week. You know, it seemed like Joseph got shuffled around a lot. You know, I get that, and you wonder how Joseph could put up with that. Well, remember what I told you last week. God was with Joseph, and he can be with you. Let me give you another example of that. Okay, let's talk about this man Moses. Well, Moses, when he was born, his mother wound up having to hide him, and she actually made a basket for him and hid him in the river. And the reason was the king of Egypt wanted to kill him and all these other Jewish baby boys. It sounds horrible, doesn't it? Well, it actually did happen, and you know, sometime I'll tell you about where you can read about that. Anyway, let me get on with what I want, the point I want to get across. Okay, the mother hid him in the river. Well, none other than the king's daughter found Moses. And guess what she did? You think she had him killed? No, she adopted him because she thought he was an orphan at first. But she found out soon after that Moses' mom was still living. Well, long story short, the princess adopted Moses anyhow, and he wound up being raised in the palace, you know, once his mother had finished nursing him and everything. Well, long story short, Moses got brought up in royalty. But he never forgot that he was one of the Jews either. So he was still acquainted with his people. Well, there's some things happening. Once again, Moses got shuffled around. Yeah, I know you're still wondering, how does somebody put up with that? Well, I want you to keep this in mind. God was with Moses. So God gave Moses what it took for him to be shuffled around, because that was part of Moses' training to become the leader of Israel. And Moses wound up leading Israel out of bondage, out of slavery, and into their own nation. Wow, that's a lot God did with Moses. Well, guess what, my friend? God can do a lot with you, even though you just see yourself as another face in the crowd. I see myself as just another face in the crowd, and yet God is doing things with me. Things I'll be telling you about in further episodes as we continue to talk and to share on this program. At any rate, I want you to understand one thing though. The best way for God to use you is for you to surrender to Him, even in a way that Moses and Joseph too at the time couldn't, and therefore didn't. You see, God's original son, Jesus, died on the cross so that you can become one of God's adopted sons or daughters if you insist. Anyway, I would like to see you, even though you see yourself as just another face in the crowd, come and be a part of royalty. Yeah, and while you're here on the earth, you might not feel like royalty, you might not look like royalty. But hey, that day is coming where you will become royalty for all the world to see. Okay, that's all I've got for now. All you faces in the crowd, stay safe out there. Until next time, ciao.